Virgo, welcome. Thank you so much for your patience. I had to get through the Virgo moon and the new moon before I was ready for this, but I feel like you guys are the most patient of the signs. I know Capricorn gets that a lot, but I honestly think it's you guys, mostly because you can foresee the delay in the first place. There's a gift of prophecy with Virgo. I happen to live with two of them, and they're the same vibration. It's beautiful. So let's do the rundown. September 3rd had the trine with Jupiter and Mercury. And we saw that, like, wait a second kind of moment where it was like, oh, stuff's moving really quickly. Oh, stuff's coming. I can feel it. It's building. Um, it was for 2 solid days too. And at that time, the moon and Chiron were together. And I honestly always think that there's something linking the Virgo vibration to the Chiron energy. So I think it might have been that you were like, ooh, I got a boo boo. I got to fix that. And there may have been some internal searching. At that time, Mercury was already retrograde, but it was way ahead of the sun. And then it, like I said, it stuck there. So it's kind of like you got the vision of what you needed to do, but you knew what work you needed to do as well. And so there was a little bit of like sidestepping. A couple days later, on the 6th, that's when we had Mercury retrograde conjunct the sun. When that happened, it would have been kind of like a clearing, like a disinfectant on the wound, so to speak. And then it was just process time, just healing time. And I honestly felt this with the new moon happening in the middle of the month. We had this shift, and the Mercury energy was just everywhere with the sun and the moon both hanging out in your sign. There was this beautiful vibration of like, it's okay that I got sick, or it's okay that that didn't work out, because this is better. This is going to be better. It's almost like you had an infection and you got the antibiotics. And as soon as you took the moment to do that, you realized you didn't need to suffer for as long as you had. So you're just going to go forward now. This is also because Mars is sitting in Libra, right? It's pulling you forward. You can feel this like internal tug on your natural voice to just speak up about what you need to speak up about and say what you need to say. Mercury is sitting at 8 degrees for the week that I'm recording this, and it'll move pretty quickly. It's going to pick up speed. It's behind the sun at the point of the new moon, though. So where it was ahead, when it hit Jupiter at the very beginning of the month and you got that vision, it now lags behind, and it just starts building the blocks. And there's going to be trial and error phases. There's going to be realizations, and it's little things too, right? It's, when we book that thing, did you check the fine print? Oh, there's something in the fine print we don't like. Okay, we'll go back and see if it's an exception, if they'll make an exception for us, instead of throwing the whole thing out the window. Because you have this vision now, you have this understanding of where you want to go, there's that pull towards it that it's innate, it's natural. Until the 25th, there's really not much, but the vision is going to crystal. It's going to come into a full crystal energy when we have Jupiter and Mercury hang out again in the 25th. And when that happens, the moon will actually be with Pluto. So there's almost like this underlining, always knew that would be yours kind of power that comes from it. Now, there may be fear. There may be a sense of, okay, this is heavy. Oh, this is going to be intense. And if you hear giggling, by the way, I have two Virgos hanging out in their bedroom right now watching Clueless. So the vision is crystallized by the 25th, and the weight of it is also impacting. Mercury will be at 14 degrees at that point, which is like a beautiful frequency where it's aspecting Jupiter, and Jupiter is still retrograde in such a way that it's sitting in the middle of a sign. And when any planet sits in the middle sign, it can kind of echo outwards. But when Jupiter is involved, it holds the whole sign. So there's going to be this beautiful establishment that is fully formatted between your energies of Taurus, wherever that sits in your chart, and your Virgo placements. There'll be this like grounding. Okay, we know what routes we have to take. We know how deep we're going to have to go in order to grow that far, and because we know how big we want to get now. So it's actually really beautiful. But I want to take a look at the cards and see what's coming out. We got one. This came out sideways. So this may be kind of what happened with that original Jupiter energy in the beginning of the September when Mercury and Jupiter hung out. There may have been like a maybe I don't really need that offer. I don't need to grow. I'm good here energy. And then there was a realization like, wait, but what could I do with that? Can I go back? Can I go back? Can I make this work? There's a hopeful frequency too. Ooh, and what's coming? You may find that you have to explain yourselves or not to certain people. There's going to be cut-offs. There's going to be realizations that maybe this new plan and your desire to expand on what you learned about healing, on what you learned about where the growth you needed to be and the steps you needed to take, it's gonna disgruntle some people, and there may be some arguments. There may be some discontent in those who expected you to just sit with 3 cups, because you deserve more than 3 cups. You deserve the 10 of Pentacles, which is exactly what you're starting to realize now. You can have it all. There's going to be people who would rather you just sit there and take what you're given. But those aren't your people anyway. So I'm going to look a little deeper. Let's go a couple more cards, because it's your birthday. And maybe a feminine figure, a decisive air sign that came in and offered you this original thing. They may have even made it seem like you could take this cup. You don't have to, but you can take it. And you were like, no, I'm good. And then you started to realize, like, what would my life be like if I had taken that cup? How much richer, how much more secure would I be? And that's where we are now. It's understanding you can go back and get that vision. And what about that? What about that queen? We'll put a couple more cards for her. So a whole stack came up. I'm going to read those in the extended. What about this page? This page sees the King of Wands. Interesting. So this new appreciation that you're starting to develop in the meanwhile, it comes with understanding the power that the queen had. This king is looking at that queen, starting to understand, oh, that detachment she had, that was a power. I want that power. I want detachment in my objectives. Healthy detachment, radical appreciation without obsession. I want to be able to passionately take what I want. I deserve that damn cup. Why didn't I take that damn cup? What else is going on right now? Oh, we got one down. We'll look at that. Oh, it's another king. We'll look at that. And the action needed from the King of Wands, from the Page of Pentacles to the King of Wands to the King of Pentacles. We'll look at that action. We'll go a little deeper. Go a couple more cards for the extended here. Can I get a couple more? Thank you. So we got 2 cards, and we'll look at those in the extended. And the 7 of Swords. The 5 of Swords, my bad. Page of Swords. So it might be someone younger, or the younger version of yourself, the idealistic version of yourself, the hero that gets cut down. That could be this disgruntled person. Interesting. We're going to look at these in the extended. I'm excited about this extended. Don't leave those like that. Well, Virgo, I'm going to go off and record this. We'll take a look at some losses and where the regret is, so we can prepare for cutting those ropes so we can fly higher.